Well, Mauna Loa, the world's largest active volcano, is stirring, with now daily updates coming from the Volcano Observatory due to much more frequent earthquake activity there lately. Talmadge Magno is the Hawaii County Civil Defense Administrator and joins us this evening. Aloha, Talmadge.
Hello, Gina. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for being here. Why does the public need to be paying a bit more attention than usual to Mauna Loa?
Well, we always kind of preach preparedness all the time because of the different disasters that we face on Hawaii Island. With Mauna Loa, we've got a little bit more time because of the research that's going on and the instruments that are monitoring it. We can see an uptick in activity. Because Mauna Loa makes up over 50% of Hawaii Island, all the people that live on its slopes, at some portion of that 50%, those people could be affected. We ask that people have their plans, know what they're going to do if Mauna Loa erupts, if they're at home or if they're at work, if they're separated from their families and so forth, what they're going to do. So at this point, there's no sign of imminent eruption, but we need to keep the people that are living on the slopes, as I said, appraised, aware of what might happen. We're at the advisory level because of this escalated level of seismicity.
Sure. And given that advisory, what is the latest on the county's civil defense guidance, or are any updates or changes going to be coming to your emergency and your evacuation plans?
So what we do is we ramp up our communications with HVO. We meet with them multiple times a week to include different partners. We keep the county leadership abreast of what's going on. We want our first responders to be able to be with us when we respond, when we activate. So everybody needs to be ready. Just like we ask the public, we ask the county, our partners, to be having their plans to be ready in the case that Mauna Loa erupts and starts to impact someplace in that 50% of the island.
Yeah, that's a big portion of the island. So I ask you to narrow that down a little. What areas are most likely to be impacted, and within what time period should there be an eruption?
Right, and that varies throughout the location on the island. So as you look at the way the volcano should erupt, the likelihood is that it'll erupt at its summit, Mokuweaweo caldera. From there, whether it goes to the northeast rift zone or the southwest rift zone, it's just a matter of, I guess, the way the magma is coming into the mountain. The critical areas are definitely the zone ones, areas where fissures could open up. Those are areas that are on the rift zones. And so we're concerned with those areas. And
what are some of those areas generally?
Well, we know the northeast corner of Hawaiian Ocean View Estates. There are occupants that live in that area. And so they need to be aware of where they live, the proximity to the vents, and how fast the flow could be in their area.
Can you give some specific recommendation? You spoke about residences. Is there anything different that businesses or visitors should be doing in terms of readiness and preparation at this point?
So businesses, just like residents, they need to have their plans. If their facilities are within the inundation zones, what are they going to do, with their infrastructure? If they're not, how do they need to know what's going to happen to their employees if they're going to be displaced and so forth. They need to know what their workforce is how their workforce is going to be affected. As far as visitors, we work closely with the resort community. We depend on them to get the message to the visitors.
Excellent. Well, Talmadge Magno, mahalo again for joining us and helping keep Hawaii Island alert and aware.